So thank you, Shashi Ranjan sir. Thanks for your time.
Thank
This
you.
is the first podcast which I'm going to do. I don't know whether to call it as a podcast or an interview. Normally, what happens is like what I read is interview will be just question and answers. But in this session with you, you are given time to me. You being, you are into a profession where you are creating other professions. Being into teaching. So I would like to call this as a podcast where more of an interview question and answers. I would prefer this to be a much of interaction so that I also get motivated. So in these
Exactly.
questions, we'll be having a free talk and few share your experience in professional
Yeah.
and how you chased your passion with persistence.
Yeah.
Achieving your
Yeah.
PhD degrees and all.
Exactly.
So can we start, sir?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So just to, I am just titling this podcast as mainly I want to understand on your PhD journey. So I am just titling this as Thesis Beyond PhD. So beyond PhD, what learnings we are getting from that in that journey. So just to start with an introduction and background. So just I want to ask, can you start by telling about a bit about yourself and your academic background? Only academic background, that's fine for me.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me and making me to have an interview with you.
I am honored actually.
Uh-huh. So myself, Dr. Sashi Ranjan, working as associate professor, and I'm having altogether 18 years of teaching experience.
Okay, sir.
I did my schooling from North Point Children's School that comes under ICSE board, New Delhi. Later I went to Delhi Public School, RK Puram, that is topmost school in India, where I have completed my plus two intermediate. And soon after that completion of my plus two, I came to Bangalore to write my CET exam and I pursued my BE, Bachelor of Engineering in Electronics and Communication. And from then onwards, I started my career as a teaching profession. And as you know that mere BE is not enough to be a teacher for a long time. So definitely it was a need to go for M.Tech and on to the PhD. So I have completed my M.Tech from JNTU Kakinada and PhD from VTU Belgavi.
Great, sir. Great. So, what has inspired you to pursue engineering at the first place? Why you chose engineering, not going for some, even though you are most focused on teaching profession, why not BSc or BCom or something like directly going for B.Tech?
So the reason behind preferring this as one of the undergraduate course is the technical ideas. So lot of technical opportunities was available, and as talking to our seniors and brothers and sisters, senior people, they have advised me to go for technical education, which can shape my life and can broaden my future up to an extent.
Great, sir. Great to know about your parents were also a bit supportive and
Definitely.
they were also guiding. I think your parents also will be into teaching profession.
No, my father is a civil engineer,
Oh, great, sir.
and being a civil engineer, he motivated me to be a part of engineering profession, and he motivated me and he inspired me to be a technical educator.
Great, sir. So, how did your journey progress from B.Tech to M.Tech and eventually landing into PhD?
So definitely, along with the teaching, pursuing higher education is not so easy. It's a challenging situation. So when I was working as a lecturer at one of the college in Bangalore in the year 2009, so there was a need that the undergraduate BE people is not enough to teach the BE students. So there was a need which has arisen. So at that time, my beloved principal has motivated me to go for higher education. And finally, I pursued my M.Tech from JNTU Kakinada, that is one of the leading university in India. And I have taken all the pain to switch on from Bangalore to Kakinada to complete my M.Tech qualification.
And landing into PhD?
And soon after that M.Tech, again the trend changed. So since I have already completed more than 10 years of my service as a faculty, as a teaching profession, so definitely it is the right time to make something which is very long journey. So definitely without PhD, continuing this profession up to the end of the life, it is definitely difficult. So there arises a need which I have followed and completed my PhD to continue my services for the teaching fraternity.
So, was pursuing a PhD always a part of your plan, or did it evolve over the time in your teaching profession?
Definitely, it has evolved over a time because when I have continued my journey as a teaching profession, definitely the trend has changed. As we know that every company, uh, the every software or any updates is changed every 2 or 3 years. So once I continued this journey as a teaching profession, there arose a need of increasing my qualification to an extent where I can continue my services for a long time.
Great, sir. Great. So, who or what influenced your decision to specialize in your chosen research area?
Definitely, it is none other than my beloved guide, who under whom I am working as a faculty. He was my HOD. So he was a role model. He was a motivating factor for me. He encouraged me. He has seen the talent in me when I take the class for the institution. He used to monitor me, and definitely he has motivated and guided me to complete my PhD
So, you'll
education.
be always thankful to your guide.
Definitely, lifelong until the last breath of my life.
Great, sir.
I must
That gratitude is really
definitely.
appreciable, which
I must.
every research scholar
Yeah,
should have that.
yeah. I failed in my duty if I am not going to acknowledge him
Great, sir.
over a
Great,
period of
great.
life.
Your gratitude towards him is really appreciable, sir.
Definitely.
How did you decide on your PhD research topic?
So definitely the topic is always decided upon the research interest. So since from beginning I started my career as a teaching profession, and definitely in teaching profession, there are some when you continue over a period of time, there will be some topic, some title, which will which will motivate you to go further, dig upon digging, so that we can go much broader into that. So it's really my area of interest, which I have taken the signal processing, the speech signal processing, as one of my title or the specialization for pursuing my PhD. It's all my interest.
Great, sir. Great. What was the initial spark or the problem that you research aimed to solve it? Like, what was the spark or the problem which you wanted to find a solution for it and close it?
Definitely. So my research is based on speech signal processing, and I worked on voice authentication. So definitely the day-to-day life, solving the day-to-day life problem is one of the major problem statement. So what I have seen in my age over a period of time, that people are losing their cards or some kind of monetary cards, and for getting it blocked they need to have a longer period authentication. They need to have a lot of calling for IVRS, and they need to answer a lot of questions. So what I thought, why not a voice can measure as an authentication factor? If I tell that my voice is my password, so totally I worked on the faster banking authentication process. So anyhow, it is our duty to get our things safe. So I have chosen voice authentication as my title for my PhD work.
Okay, sir.
That is the need of the day.
Okay. So, how did you find the right guide or the guide or research supervisor in this PhD journey?
Definitely, I would like to recall my guide again, because before I joined my PhD, I had the opportunity to work him for the past 5 years. In between, I had made a very good relation with my guide, and the guide also, I also had a very good rapport in front of my guide, and the guide has also seen me very closely, not as a student or as a scholar, as a faculty. So definitely, when we discuss with each other, we have discussed that he has given my strength. Sashi, when you go to the class, your teaching is superb, and why not you can continue for a higher education? So definitely he has motivated me to go ahead, and he has given me enough time to realize each other, to understand the guide that is the guru along with the Sishya that is myself.
Great, sir. Because that the guide is the person who is, exploring or finding out the hidden caliber inside yourself.
Exactly, and he has tested me without my information. He has noticed me where I was not knowing that my guide is having eyes on my strength,
Potential.
potential. And finally, a day has come when he has accepted me as his scholar.
Great, sir. Great. So, can you describe the process of framing your research proposal? Just in just
So, framing a research proposal is not a tedious task because it is not the complete encyclopedia of the thesis. So, what we need to do is like we have to create a small synopsis where we need to understand the problem statement. Before problem statement, we have to see the title, and the title definitely relates to the problem statement. So, what is the latest problem or the recent problem, what is going in that particular field that we need to highlight? And that can be highlighted only with the help of the surveys, that is none other than the literature survey. So, that is a building block for choosing the title or the topic.
great, sir. What was your biggest motivation to continue? Was there any? Have you ever felt like it's really cracking my head? I want to quit. Something like that. Or what?
Definitely,
What really kept you driving for completion of the
yes,
PhD?
yes. So, I do agree that doing maintaining or balancing the family along with a professional life is not so easy. And I was not only balancing the professional life with my family life, I am also balancing the third weapon, that is none other than my PhD, that is the research work. So I was balancing all three elements at a time, and that was totally uh, challenging for me. So, but I had a belief that uh, that I can do that. So my strength has motivated me, even in terms of hurdles. I have struggled hard and I have come up with all those solutions what is required to get the award.
Can you tell one major challenge that you will never forget, which you had in the journey of your PhD?
Yeah, the major challenge what I felt is uh, the research papers. So definitely, as a part of UGC regulations, the paper must be published in most reputed journals like SCIS, Coopers, and Web of Science. So getting the right paper and getting it published in the right indexed like Scoopers or SCI or Web of Science, it is a tedious and the time-taking process. So
That
if
was
I,
your biggest
yeah,
challenge.
yeah, that is 1 year if I'm waiting for one paper to get published, and definitely that 1 year of that work is going to help us to complete my report. That is another thesis.
So, in between, have you ever felt like, no, I need to start, I need to quit it?
Some miseries will come in between because maintaining multiple elements at a time it's not so easy. But the strength and the belief in myself has driven me to come up with my passion.
Okay. How did you manage your stress? Because as you told, you were having the third weapon in your hand, the
Yeah,
PhD.
yeah.
How did you manage your time and along with the stress?
So it is like time management is very important for balancing multiple elements at a time. So first of all, we have to have patience. That is the one thing, and the second thing is we have to keep our mental health free, so that multiple challenges we should not feel depressed or worries. So I keep doing some meditation or some kinds of devotional activities, not for much time because I was not having much time, but for a couple of minutes or multiple of minutes I used to do that. That has driven me to come up with my passion.
Great, sir. What kind of failures or experiments didn't go as planned? You are doing some research in between some trials. Anything got failed or everything was successful?
So everything will not be successful for everyone. That is truth. So definitely hurdles, as you asked, hurdles has come in my life during my PhD journey. So I remember there is one of the subject called as speech signal statistical signal processing. There I struggled very hard because the complete getting the result out of that particular topic is quite challenging because totally that was a variable topic which is nothing is clear. It is not deterministic. It is non-deterministic. It's something like a cloud. So definitely I struggled hard to come up with the solution for that particular.
Okay. How did you deal with criticism or rejection from research reviewers or publications?
Definitely, it is a kind of failure is the pillar of success,
Yeah.
as we know. So definitely, when the paper is not having a reviews, whether it is a positive or the negative reviews, the paper is not at all a paper. So definitely, if we are getting reviews, it means it indicates that we have worked up to the maximum extent, and there is only few modification which is required. So definitely, reviews will make the people to be more stronger
Okay.
to understand the work done is up to the mark. It is just a slight modification we need to make in order to get it published.
Okay, sir. How did your mindset or personality change over the course of your PhD?
Definitely, after completion of my PhD, not only my designation, like I was assistant professor and I immediately got promoted to associate professor. And that was a need for associate professor, we must have a PhD degree. For that, I was waiting, and finally, immediately, my college has recognized me and given me the promotion. That is one thing. So, people, I have not done only for getting the promotion exactly, but also for enhancing my strength. Like once I am used to some paperwork, like doing some research papers. So, if I'm already completed with some of the reputed journal completion, so it will give me extra energy to make still continue my research even after completion of PhD.
Okay.
That is post
What
research.
role did your family, friends, and mentors play in supporting in this journey?
Definitely, I remember my wife, my parents, my friends. They have motivated me, and in hard time, they have helped and supported me to come up with all those miseries. And definitely, they have without their support, getting this award is not so easy.
Okay. So, what skills, technical or personal, do you think a PhD helps build the most?
Technical skills, like the very important is research is nothing but it's like having a repeated number of search. So it is as good as following multiple number of surveys.
Mhm.
Until we do the survey, we will not understand what is the problem.
Okay.
So literature survey definitely plays a very important role in getting the reviews done.
Okay. And coming to this research impact and the experience, could you share any brief overview of your research findings and contributions? Any small contribution?
So definitely, I can speak on this. See, these are actually when we started my research work. So as I told you, I worked on voice authentication. So they are getting the accuracy is a bigger challenge because multiple algorithms are there, and every algorithm is having different results. So definitely, my work will be praised only when the performance will be too high. So definitely, I worked on the one of the algorithm, that is one of the novel algorithm, SBCC, subband cepstral coefficient design, which helped me to get 98.4% of performance.
Oh,
That will make the people to analyze and accept that particular work what I have done.
great, sir. How important is this publications you are telling about these journals, and what advice would you give about it, like for the upcoming PhD scholars?
Yes, to all my dear scholars, I just want to tell this papers publication is not only for the research fellows, but it is definitely a central part of the research scholar. See, research scholars, when they present the paper, when they make the paper, they understand what is the actual work they are doing. So normally, as take example, when I was a scholar, I have divided my complete thesis into 4 papers. So what I used to do, like every completion of 1 year or 6 months, I used to publish one paper. The paper can be as good as my work, what I have done in a stipulated period of time. So for every span of time, I used to publish one paper, which will make me to make a sum of the document what is required to have for the thesis, and that will also give me the knowledge to understand the work what I am doing.
Great, sir. And finally, to the last segment, advice for students as well as the future researchers. What advice would you give to someone just starting a PhD journey who's just stepping, just taking or crawling or taking baby steps for the
Yeah.
PhD?
First of all, to all my young dear research scholars, I would like to suggest them to have patience. That is,
Patience and persistence.
yeah, that is one of the that plays a very important role.
Okay.
Because if we lose the patience, definitely a lot of hurdles will come in between.
Okay.
So once we have planned, we must cross the ocean. We should not stuck in between,
In between.
because we can't go either this side or that side.
Okay.
So we have to cross. That is anyway. That is
Okay.
anyhow we have to cross it.
Okay. So, how should students choose their topic and guide wisely?
Choosing the topic is I totally encourage the students to take the topic based on their interest
Interest.
and their areas of research where they have the knowledge, the basic building blocks. Because basic is very important. If you have spent a lot of time doing all graduation and others, B.Tech and all, M.Tech and all. So I suggest the students to go in the same field and up to their interest, so that it will help them to cross the complete journey.
Great, sir. What are some common myths about doing PhD that you would like to clear? Is there any myth or like this PhD like that's very tough? Any myth is there?
People tell that myths are there, but I personally won't believe in myths. So myths can be turned into inactive once we really cross the journey. So the real person who is completing the journey, they won't find that any myth was there. But it was there in the mind that lot of myths are there. The fear always will be there before we write the exam. Once we complete the exam, all fear will go off.
Okay, sir. How do you see the future of research and innovation in India?
Definitely, our honorable Prime Minister, he is focusing a lot on the research area. As we have seen, India is the country who has provided Covishield, and to not only to our Indians, and it was so enormous that it has been transported to other countries free of cost. So it all happens only with the help of the research work, because no, our ancestors also not seen the novel coronavirus, and that is the research is the one who has saved the life of so many people.
Great, sir. Great. It is a very great example what you have given. And finally, the last question. If you could summarize your PhD journey in one line, what it would be?
One line is what is the in one line it is so not so easy, but the only thing what I can tell is you have to be confident enough that you are going to complete the journey.
Okay.
So confidence and hard work, dedication, passion, all this is very important for completing that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable time. The answers what you have given, it is really going to influence me. You are the role model because I also started thinking about even I can do it. And you are the first person who inspired me for that. Then I started writing the exam, I got it. And I am also a research scholar right now. So I thought like you will be able to give much light, insight to this journey. So that's why I called you as my guest.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I bless you all the best for your completion of
And your journey
further
was,
journey.
it is like as you told, it's a passion, patience and persistence. That is the road towards PhD, what I feel.
Exactly.
And all the upcoming researchers, maybe including me, can contribute to the nations for the development, and it will really boost our Indian economy, and it will really contribute to the society as well. So thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a
Thank you
lot
so much.
thanks a
Thank
lot.
you so
Thanks a
much.
lot.
All the best.